How's it going, ladies and gentlemen? My name is RuffledRowlit, and welcome back to a brand new video. Today, guys, we're going to some Pokemon leaks, rumors, news, and stuff to talk about, so sit back, relax. There's going to be news from the last, 3 days, including some stuff from today, so bear with me, because there's going to be a lot of stuff that you may have heard from other people, but maybe I haven't spoken about just yet. But there's also going to be a bunch of new stuff from today, so let's get into it. Starting things off was this tweet coming to us from Ball Guy from a few days ago. On the 24th, so it was only 3 days ago that this happened, but he said ready for his challenge on tour, and then it's a picture of a dragon, dragon typing symbol and a poison symbol, and some people were asking okay, what is this related to? And he actually replied to a few people. So for example, Blaze said pseudo legendary, maybe. Then somebody says say something about the game female characters. He says not related to characters. You may like Poison Leader though, who is an idol/performer. So we got two things here. Number one, we seemingly have a new Pokemon here on one of these islands. At least that's what's being mentioned here. Or maybe some sort of Majin Pokemon. If you don't know what I mean when I say Majin, Majin's supposed to be these deity god Pokemon that are going to be similar to the Titan Pokemon from Scarlet and Violet, kind of a similar purpose to that, but they're going to be related to the main mechanic of the game, the gimmick of this game. And if you don't know what I mean by gimmick, a gimmick would be something like Z moves, Dynamax, Mega Evolution. Those are gimmicks in Pokemon games, and of course, Winds and Waves is going to have its own special gimmick. So yeah, so he replies with that, says, and then they say, I hope we get another Sword and Shield with many male characters, whatever. But the funniest part is actually the fact that he basically revealed here, Ball Guy. If you don't know Ball Guy, he is a sort of an insider-ish kind of person. I love Ball Guy. But he basically said, you may like Poison Leader, though, who is an idol/performer. So there you go. There's that. But there is more about this. We're going to talk more about some of the theories on this. But like I said, I have a million tabs open. So I'm just going to go through them one by one and see what we discover. So the next thing, of course, is that we have the official artwork for one of the new characters of the Pokemon anime. There's going to be Wonder Voyage, which is starting from May 22nd. So just a month from now. And her name is Navi, and she's from Lumio City. And she apparently is going to have a Ditto. So that's going to connect somewhat to, I guess, Pokopia. But also there is talks about her being related to some other stuff. So we'll see how that actually turns out once we get to it. Also, another thing is, Soul tweeted something a while back saying, for months, my friend Yori has been saying shades of blue and yellow could be the Gen 10 game colors. I didn't buy it until today. This 30th anniversary logo can and probably will be used for Pokemon colors. But he was talking about these two logos, right? Which they thought were going to be related. But he says, looking at this clean yellow-white shoes reminded me of Scarlet and Violet and ZA color theories. I wonder if yellow and blue and white were originally the main colors of Pokemon Winds and Waves, and then they changed them. Or maybe they were just teasing the protagonist color scheme, which you kind of do have it there. So who knows? Kind of a little theory. The next thing is there was this post here, which has now been removed, but it was basically one of these rumor posts, and I'm probably going to be able to find you the actual image because I have it in some different tab. But Jan basically did refuted it and said that it's fake because the Japanese wasn't correct, and we'll find that image and we'll kind of debunk it as well, I guess. Also some stuff from Central Leaks, who says that Masaki Hoshino, the producer of Pokemon Champions, commented on some of the game's graphics, saying, yes, as a Pokemon fan, I naturally understand that this various discussions currently taking place within the fan community. I can totally relate to all of it regarding the graphics and gameplay. We truly tried our best in both areas. With Champions, we have limitations compared to Pokken tournament graphics, a game worked on before. Nevertheless, there are some things I really wanted to tackle as kind of a new challenge. One of those things, as you could see, for example, was that all the Pokemon have their own shadows. These shadows and the spatial depth they create are one of the things that was particularly important to me. I really wanted to incorporate that kind of visual reality into the game. Another thing I want to mention is the battle effects. We developed them from scratch in this game, and I was very thorough in reviewing them and personally went through every single one. Phew, that was a lot of moves, which is fine and all. I appreciate that. I feel like there's a lot more other issues with this game that need to be addressed, but that's besides the point. So fair enough. At least one of the the devs actually said something. The other thing is, we're talking again about that post from Ball Guy, right? So what is this? This is related to some new Pokemon. So here is some of the stuff about it. So some more Gen 10 leaks. The Poison type gym leader is an idol performer, okay? And a new Dragon Poison Pokemon, which could be story related, could be here. Again, I think it's going to be something along those ways. Also, the new Pokemon really seems to be a Komodo dragon, which is, hey, actually makes sense because it is from Southeast Asia. The Komodo dragon, I think, is, oh god, I think it's found primarily in Malaysia, if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong. It's either Malaysia or Indonesia. It's one of those two. I know it's primarily found there. So let me see. Komodo dragon. I think they're primarily found there. So they are, let's see. Indonesia, right there it is. Indonesian islands of Komodo, Rinca, Flores, Gili Dasami, and Gilimotang. The largest extent of population lives within the Komodo National Park in eastern Indonesia. So yeah, that's where you find these big fellas. So it makes sense we'd get a Komodo dragon Pokemon. It would be really weird if they didn't use, like Southeast Asia has like some of the largest variety of animals you'll ever see. I've seen some crazy like rodents and stuff that exist there that you've never seen anywhere else in the world. Like, dude, Europe has F all in terms of like variety of animals compared to Southeast Asia. Okay, Southeast Asia has some crazy variety of animals, birds, rodents, all kinds of manners of things that are just different that you don't see because their ecology is kind of stuck there. They cannot really, move. They're kind of stuck on islands, essentially. So those animals have developed in certain ways that are different from their counterparts or are just completely different and don't exist in certain other places because of the weather, because of, again, migration was impossible because these are islands, and over thousands and thousands and millions of years, they've just been stuck there and evolved in different ways that are different from other, maybe possibly related animals. Again, the point is just that it would be so weird if we didn't get a Komodo dragon. It'd be so weird, man. It just makes sense. So that seems to be at least what Ball Guy's thing here is hinting at. And we can see here as well from Raichu as well. Raichu posts, he said that Pokemon Winter Waves, a Pokemon based on the Komodo dragon is a must for the 10th generation. They originate from the island of Southeast Asia called Komodo Island. Could this be our next pseudo legend? Which I think would make sense. It is essentially a dragon. It's called a dragon. I mean, it's not a literal dragon in the literal sense, the way you would think of like a European or like, let's say, a Chinese dragon or something like that, but it's literally named Komodo dragon because it's from the Komodo Island. I'm just saying, a pseudo legendary dragon poison type, molto bene. I would love that shit, man. It would be so good. Also, some theories based on Navi, who's going to be in the anime, and this is from Soul Silver, says, looking at Navi's hair, I think the new Gen 10 Pokemon will have a similar trait. It's very different than regular ponytails. And I guess he's talking about how her hair looks, which don't really have much to comment on it myself. But he says, it really looks like bunny ears. Maybe the new Pokemon really is a bunny or a jellyfish. I don't know. Feels like Aqua Mollusk too. Probably a cutesy and maybe similar color too. It is possible that a new... I don't know if it's going to be an important Pokemon, but I think that she will probably introduce a Gen 10 Pokemon through her. Or she is a Pokemon. Because I ain't going to lie, those eyes do not look human to me. I don't know about you guys, but those eyes ain't looking human to me whatsoever. I don't know any other Pokemon character that has eyes that look that. I mean, what's going on with the eyes, man? That does not look human, all right? But I can see what they mean by, like, this could be a hint in some way, or she could be, like, related in some way to a new Pokemon, because they have introduced Pokemon from upcoming generations in other games and other media in the past. So it's not, like, out of the realm of possibility of them doing that again. It's very much, actually, very much a possibility, okay? It very much could happen. So just keep that in mind. Then we have this, and this is, obviously, this is just Mr. Billy over here making a meme, but the actual post, which was shared by Raichu, is just funny, because obviously it's fake. Obviously these, I mean, I don't know if they're AI generated or not, but it wouldn't surprise me. However, if we're going to be real, I'm sorry. Okay, so... why does the evolution here look like it's just Frogadier? It's just Frogadier. Am I crazy or is it just Frogadier? And just these two, like, there's something about them. I don't actually mind these two. I kind of like the mid-stage evolution here. If this was real, obviously it's fake, but if it was real, it'd be kind of neat. But it does kind of give off a I mean, listen, if an artist actually drew these, fair enough. But I almost want to say they look a little bit like AI, if you know what I mean. It kind of gives off a little bit of that vibe. I don't know, maybe it's just me, but yeah, it's just kind of funny. Bloody hell, for hours now I've been getting this. What's the deal with these so-called evolutions? But yeah, they're obviously fake. It's fun to look at nonetheless, though. It's just kind of fun. Also, Raichu also talked about the fact that we probably going to be getting a dragon poison type, again, related to one of the islands, and probably going to be, again, like I said, one of the Pokemon I think personally will be related to a Pokemon and will be one of these Pokemon that's equivalent to like a Titan, right? So a Majin Pokemon or one of the Apostles or something like that. But yeah, so interesting. So next up, this post suggesting that since we got Alola Sitting Cuties last May, that we'll be getting Galar ones this May. If true, the Pokemon Company just can take my whole wallet. But yeah, he's talking about like new merch that might be coming out, which fair enough. There you go. In case you are interested in the merch, now you know. Next up, this is a post from Jordan who says the Gen 10 map seems to suggest that we might be getting a new ant Pokemon. What could this be related to? Well, he says maybe a big ant, a different kind of ant, multiple types of ants combined into one. Just hope it's cuter than Durant. So, in this case, Dinomyrmex is a monotypic genus of ant containing the species Dinomyrmex gigas and giant forest ants, which are found in Southeast Asia. So yes, the idea of a new ant Pokemon isn't that crazy. Even a form of Durant would actually make a lot of sense as well, because, I mean, why not? You know what I mean? It says, maybe we'll revisit the tiny ant ID from Gen 10, which was an ID from Sugimori, I guess. For a long time, we wanted to make an ant Pokemon that would be the smallest Pokemon, but this time I decided to focus on the design for Durant. And then also, can we go smaller than Joltik? Is that even practical? And then, oh, what about a new ant with different forms? So Durant, maybe a flying one, you know? Because that's a flying ants are just, I hate flying ants. They are so, like, terrifying and just, like, awful to deal with. But it's a possibility. Again, it's a possibility. So there's a lot of options they could go with a new ant Pokemon, which is, you know, again, could happen. And then again, Light as well is posted about the Dragon Poison Komodo Dragon Pokemon, so there's that. Also, again, Millennium posted about, again, same thing, Poison type gym leader, specialist for this type is reportedly an idol or a performer. Again, we've had idol performers before, like in several Pokemon games. And again, the Dragon Poison Pokemon, a creature with this unique typing, is expected to debut and may be central to the game's storyline. Again, we'll have to wait and see. Also, this is another thing, which is from Central, saying that apparently, it's incredible to think that the reveal trailer, which you guys have seen all the stuff from the reveal trailer by now, I'm assuming, for Winds and Waves, is set entirely solely on the first island. It'll be huge region. So he's saying that everything we saw in that trailer is just from the first island, like just the first area of the game. And Light even says, as mentioned before, I expect it to be around 8 times bigger than Paldea, but with lots of water, which actually, I don't know what to say, man. Like 8 times bigger is fine, but if it's like as he says here, with lots of water, how much of that is actually explorable? Like if all of the area has underwater sections where you can actually do stuff underwater and there's like small islands thrown about the entire place, I'm all good. Like I'm happy with it's good enough to me. It needs to make like, listen, I would actually rather have a region that's smaller than Paldea, but is actually consistent and feels like a world I want to explore and has things to do and feels like, you know, like I'm going on an adventure and not just walking through like, you know, a Unity 3D generated map, okay? Like it needs to feel like a world you want to explore, which based on what we've seen from just the first area actually feels like that, just based on what we've seen. But that's, again, they've given us just a little vertical slice of what we're going to get. So it's not the full picture. So I don't know how much I'll wait until the game is out and then I'll judge it fully on that. But yeah, we already covered again Navi and all that, so there's that. Again, nothing too crazy. Also, Raffi here, or Raph, had to say that a new female character from Wonder Voyage anime, again, Navi, she has Ditto and is from Lumios, and she arrives off of an airship. So if you didn't know that, now you do. And let's see, I think, here we go. So now we have an actual, like, expansion on the theories here about the Komodo dragon thing and everything. So this is from Soul Silver says, intriguing, so many options. An island with a storm around it could just be telling us the context is winds and waves, or it could be specific to the island winds and waves. So he's talking about the actual like island here, because as you will notice, the image he used is kind of a riddle, because it is the 2 typings and then there's like literally an island surrounded by a storm or clouds. So he says the types could be for one Pokemon, it could be typing of one of the legendaries, or stretching maybe 2 new evolutions. If it's a new Pokemon, a Dragon Poison type would either have to be a Komodo Dragon or an evolution of an existing Pokemon, possibly one that is already a Dragon Poison type. Also, the former would likely mean a Gekwa, probably won't become a Komodo Dragon, which kind of makes sense that, you know, if we have something else that follows that trend. And also, Gekwa just doesn't seem like it would fit with just the way it looks and its typing. But either way, but who knows? It could be many other things too, like a regional form or even a gym leader trainer that uses those types of Pokemon. The caption itself must mean that we are challenging a certain person or a possible Pokemon, ready for his challenge on tour. Again, is it a person? I don't think so, because he seems to, in that reply to one of the people, he seems to have more hinted at it being some sort of Pokemon, right? Or an entity of some kind. Then, he says here, another more deeply thought out option, maybe this is a riddle about a location and is telling us that there could be a Pokemon world version of Komodo Islands in Winds and Waves with pink beaches, but also the island in the riddle is actually Dragonite Island from the anime. So the option of a Winds and Waves regional form of Dragonite is plausible, or a new Dragon Poison pseudo-legendary Pokemon. Again, anything is possible. Dragonite Island is it's kind of interesting that that's what the image is from, because I don't remember this from the anime anymore. It's been so long since I watched like the Indigo League and everything. I need to rewatch it, to be honest. And this again, somebody here says if it was his challenge referring to a person, Dragonite Island background, Dragonite and Poison connection, that's all I can see. But if I was to make a big guess, Poison Dragon is often what people associate with Komodo dragon themed Fakemon, and with it being a Dragon Island, Dragonite Island could reference the Komodo Island. So yes, it seems like there will be an island with some form of Pokemon that is related to the Komodo dragon-esque type thing, and possibly could be an important Pokemon to the lore or something along those lines. So again, we will see. Also, you know what, Honden Hunter, you know what, dude, I'll give you a follow back. There you go. Either way. We also have this giant map. If you do not know, this is the actual leaked map of the game. Of course, this might change. This map might change by by the time we get the official game released. This may be different by then, but this is the actual map they were going to use and they were working on, they were making. So just keep that in mind. And a lot of this confirms a lot of different things, like different islands, different gyms and stuff like that. And again, maybe the Komodo Dragon Island could be one of the small ones, or the uninhabited one that we see right here. Potentially something like that. We'll have to wait and see if anything comes from that. Next up, we have this, which is a new Core translation. This is the most recent news from literally today. So, yes, I have been covering a lot of old stuff, but I do have some new stuff as well, baby. And this is the first thing. So, a new Core translation, Pokemon Horizons, a new Core page provides additional details about the upcoming Wonder Voyage arc starting May 22nd, which also, by the way, we are supposed to get potentially some news next month in May. Potentially, keep that in mind. There's very much emphasis on the potentially here. But the Rising Volt Tacklers adventure will continue as Lyco, Roy, Dot, and Ult travel across the world abroad the brave Asagi. Roy is shown taking the helm of the brave Asagi, with Captain Pikachu continuing to travel alongside the group. A mysterious girl named Navi is teased. Very little is known about her, and readers are encouraged to watch for when she first appears. The visual hints that many previously unseen Pokemon will appear, including Ditto. The magazine also suggests that hidden clues about the new journey may be present throughout the key visual. More details about the Wonder Voyage arc are expected in future issues. And again, they seem to be hinting at a few different things with this, but there you go. There's that. And I think the next thing we have is also news from today, which is Serbia update. Pokemon Home has added a new distribution. Yes, you can get a shiny Volcanion if you finish your Lumio's Pokédex, and Hyperspace Pokédex and Mega Pokédex in Pokemon Home. So if you transfer Pokemon from ZA, you will be able to get your hands on this fella. So there you go. If you want to get yourself shiny Volcanion, baby, you got it. So there you go. Also, we already talked about Navi. So again, there's a lot of tweets just covering a lot of different things. But here's another one from Soul. Says, this is truly one of the most uncanny Pokemon characters ever. Like, she doesn't look human. Many people think she's the new Pokemon. Get ready to expect more character design like that in Gen 10. Who has the eyes that are dual color Horizons? For Horizon, I'd imagine. But what can we learn about her and about a new Pokemon from her design? The little wisp on her bangs and dead stare in her eyes feels kind of ghost type, while her overall look and ponytail ears look more like a bit of a normal fairy type. Will the new Pokemon have a similar wisp or eyes and ears? Presumably she'll be Ditto's trainer too, so shape-shifting normal type theme is possible. We'll have to wait and see. Let's see. The next thing is so this we already talked about like recently, but the depiction of N from a few weeks prior is representative of the champion of the region. So that was the picture of N, which we spoke about in the last video, which we're going to be getting a similar character, essentially, to that. And I think we already spoke about that previously. Also, this is some other stuff, which we forgot to talk about as well a few days ago, but some big Winds and Waves leaks have dropped in the last week. There'll be no Winds and Waves information revealed for the remainder of 2026, which I really hope is not true, but it most likely is the case, which would break my heart, but what can you do? Also, Gen 10 early root bird, which we've seen, which is like a fish, a flying fish, essentially, a birdfish. And the new Gen 10 Pokemon revealed in the anime, it is linked to this new character, which we have seen her before. So we'll see if anything comes from this, and we'll see how that turns out. Also, I do kind of agree with Central, weirdly enough, which I never normally don't, but nobody has ever claimed that that Pokemon is an early root Pokemon, which is true. I don't think they ever claimed that. And I think this is from, I think Ball Guy tweeted this originally, like this picture, or it could have been Ball Guy or Moot. I'm not sure which one of them originally. I think it might have been Ball Guy. I'm gonna see if it was Ball Guy. I think it might have been Ball Guy who originally tweeted it. Yeah, he did. Fly Sato Fly, new basic Pokemon. There you go. So he never said early root Pokemon. He just called it a basic Pokemon. So it may not be an early root Pokemon. It will just be a regular Pokemon. But yes, it is supposed to be essentially a flying fish. Essentially a fish bird. So there's that. And I think that kind of summarizes most things. He did also tweet this, which was in relationship to this you know, the Navi character, and go by Navi. And I think this was, I guess this was him confirming her name already, which is interesting because, yeah, I guess this confirms again the Ball Guy does have leaks and does know stuff, because how else would he have known that her name is Navi? Because he tweeted this on the 17th of April. It is 10 days before this was officially revealed, and I think they only revealed it like, what, a day or two ago, her name, or it might even been like today, or like actually like the last 2-3 days. So he already knew that. So again, take that with like no grains of salt, because he knows shit. And yeah. So somebody asked here again, just about Gen 10, saying, are we getting any Gen 10 info before the end of the year? He says, I'm not anticipating any information to be revealed for the remainder of the year at this time. And somebody said, didn't you imply in one tweet that we would have a Zoroark Togepi style reveal in the anime, a Pokemon debuting a gen before? That's technically new info. He says the tweet strictly referred to a presents or press release with a new game information. And says, I don't just want to immediately believe that we won't get any new info this year, which I'm telling you, I don't expect it either. Like, let's be real. People were saying this exact same shit last year, or sorry, in 2024. Because in 2024, they revealed Legends ZA, just revealed the logo and stuff. And then people were like, oh my God, oh, you know, and then they didn't even say shit. They didn't say anything about it for an entire year. We got nothing. We had to wait an entire year for actual news, like literally a full year, before we got to see anything in terms of gameplay, official release date, all that shit. We got nothing, okay? Nothing for an entire year. And I remember same thing back then. People are like, actually, we're definitely gonna get news. And we didn't. We just didn't. I want to believe. Listen, I really want to believe. But it's just the reality of it. So he did say here, seen some complaints stating I'm speaking with uncertainty on this topic or as a guest. If this was the case, I wouldn't have said something to begin with. These are the plans for now unrelated to HZ, which is, I guess, Horizon. And then, yeah, that's just that. Some people say, like, I think many leakers should adapt to Nate the Hate's module of leaking. Only share info on what you have for certain. But that's, again, even with Nate the Hate, it's like, even there's been stuff that's, you know, not always turned out as expected. So yeah, I don't know if how much weight I would put into that necessarily. Also, if you're seeing these, please stop sending these to me. They put Ball Guy's like tag on this, which is bullshit. It's fake, of like a fake gameplay. Please do not send this shit to me. If you see any of these videos, they are bullshit. Like, listen, the only way you'll know it's real is if it comes from an actual source. If it's tweeted by a Ball Guy or by, as much as some people don't like him, Centro will usually not tweet fake stuff. He'll only tweet stuff that kind of has some level of confirmation or actual proof. Once it's tweeted by somebody like that, like, if you see me tweeting about it, like actually tweeting about it in the sense of like, yo, we got an actual proper leak, fine. If you see Moot potentially tweeting about it, like actually saying it's real, I mean, even he knows this is just AI slop, so I wouldn't look at that in a serious manner. But like, again, just wait for like somebody properly to tweet this stuff, because this is just BS, okay? This is just straight up BS. They put Ball Guy's tag on there to make it look real, but it's literally just an AI generated video, which is just insane. But yeah, that's pretty much that. Thank you all for watching this video. Hopefully I covered enough stuff in this one, and I will see you all in the next upload. So probably in another week, because let's be real, there's nothing else happening right now in terms of Pokemon League. So I'll see you in a while. Have a great day and peace out.